tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. This could be the end of it all for those who would be champion. Jeremy McGrath can put the title on ice here tonight. He's sitting at the gate with 19 other challengers, all of whom would like to derail his win streak. This would be his 9th series win, and that would tie the record for single-season victories. It's just a remarkable season for Jeremy McGrath, and the payoff could come tonight. What do you think, Myers? Is he up to it?
Well, I'll tell you, there are a bunch of combinations. We went over some of them in the early going as the start is just about underway. The thing to remember is McGrath has to lose to Kiedrowski tonight in order to not win the championship. And who's it going to be out front? Goodbye. Hello, championship. How are you today? Jeremy McGrath.
Pressure. Talk about pressure performance. He needed a hole shot. He got a hole shot. And just as he has done all year, Jeremy McGrath has left him playing catch-up. Here's a battle. Emig side by side with Cooper. Who's going to get the spot? Emig's got the inside. Cooper's got the outside and the momentum. And he's into second. Cooper, who's never won one of these things.
Well, time is running out. Let me take you back to Daytona. The hole shot belonged to Jeremy McGrath, or he was the leader, in the early laps. Who came from out of the pack to beat him but Mike Kiedrowski? He won his first Supercross there. Kiedrowski has to do that again tonight, or championship is gone.
I wasn't counting. Was he 6th, I think, for Kiedrowski, number 3? So he's got some catching up to do on a racetrack some guys have described as hard to pass on. Others have gone out and passed quite impressively, notably Emig.
We just had a wide shot, but you look at the lead that McGrath has already opened up. Now, Cooper is trying to reel him in. He's trying to cut some of that distance down. There's Kiedrowski back in 6th place. But McGrath is not letting up a bit as we watch the only rider that has a chance to wrest the title away from Jeremy McGrath. McGrath is just burying the rest of the field.
I think he has made the championship issue moot unless, and it's a big unless he crashes. Here is Lusk trying to hold off the charge of Kiedrowski. I guarantee you Kiedrowski will do exactly what he talked about at the top of the show. He'll go out and try to ride his race. He's got nothing to lose at this point. He's going to charge.
Well, he has to. His position on the racetrack, the very makeup, the very being of Mike Kiedrowski dictates that. He's not going to give up until that checkered flag is thrown. He knows that the championship is slipping away. There's nothing he can do. But I guarantee you, he's not going to sit back and say, well, it's all over. I guess I'll weep and cry. He's going to go for it as hard as he can. Here's a battle now as Ezra Lusk is coming up to challenge Jeff Stanton, the defending champion.
Another youngster coming up to beat on the veteran Stanton. And for Ezra Lusk, this is a continuation of a disappointing season. Lost the 125 championship to Doug Henry, but says there's nothing personal between the two of them.
No, it's not anything personal with Doug. I think we're both going in just to get experience. I've got one more year on the 125, and this will be his last year. So he's riding to get experience for next year, and I'm just riding it to get experience for next year also. So it'll make me stronger, and it'll give me more confidence going into the series next year if I do good. And I just want to, stay healthy and try to get some good points here and for a national number and just try to ride smooth and good.
As Lusk continues his pursuit of the national champion Stanton, Doug Henry got a bad start tonight and is trying to work his way through the traffic. So for the moment, Lusk is having the better of it. He's directly in front of Mike Kiedrowski, who thus far has not made any inroads. And up front, Jeremy McGrath is just running away. Pretty good three-rider battle here, which we will follow as we come back to the Rose Bowl and more of the Supercross action. We're back in the Rose Bowl. We promised you we would follow this battle. It has heated up. Here is Jeff Emig just in front of Stanton. Cooper on his rear wheel, and Kiedrowski making an inside move and perhaps getting around Cooper. No, he didn't quite pull it off. A great four-man battle there. Number 3 gets on the inside, picks up a spot as Emig continues to display the speed and determination we saw in the heat race.
If it were not for Jeremy McGrath, we would be watching a heck of a race here for the number 1 spot. Well, McGrath is way out front. Would you look at that?
They give that kid a stop-and-go penalty. Let's make this thing interesting. This is 2nd and 3rd. Jeff Stanton trying now to salvage some dignity. That's about all that's left, having effectively surrendered his championship hopes with a crash earlier in the year. So he's going after Emig, who humiliated him a little bit in the qualifier, and Kiedrowski is definitely gaining momentum as he works from 4th spot.
Common sense says if you're Jeremy McGrath and you've got the title in hand, that you're going to slack off a little bit, that you're going to maybe conserve some energy and certainly avoid crashing by slowing down just a hair. The kid says, no, that isn't the way I'm going to do it.
I'm a Charger. I'm going to try to win it big and show these guys that they're not only in trouble this year, but they're going to be in trouble for years to come. Kiedrowski just really flailing here as he tries to get around Stanton. There's nothing there. Now has backed off a couple of 3 bike lengths, and this, of course, is a mirror of their battle for the Outdoor National Championship. The only hope that Stanton has to salvage something out of this season.
Yeah, I think that Kiedrowski understands at this point that the only way he will gain some ground or still be in it is if McGrath goes down. He's had the signals from his pit. He can look across the racetrack and see where McGrath is. So Kiedrowski's charge has temporarily halted in terms of, hey, there's no sense in risking life and limb to get around these guys. Can't catch McGrath. What I need to do is play it cool at this point. Pass if I can, but hope that McGrath has some kind of problem.
Much as we all might try to hype the fact that he came in here, Mike Kiedrowski, with a chance to win the championship, it would have taken an absolute miracle for him to pull off the crown, and he knows that, and certainly Jeremy McGrath knew that. So for the 4th place man, Mike Kiedrowski, I think it's bragging rights and saving face that tonight is all about. For Stanton, he wants to get around Emig.
He definitely wants. He's working hard at getting around Emig, and this is about as good as Stanton has been, has ridden all year. And he makes the pass. Very aggressive move and a good move as he put the hurting on him.
Well, the man is a champion. He's won this division 3 times in his career, and though he has not dominated this year, he definitely has the speed. Uh-oh, what's this? Damon Bradshaw off the track, picking himself up off the ground, and seemingly in very little hurry here.
Yeah, just waved, says, I'm coming through.
He's out of it. We'll be back. We're back in Pasadena, the Rose Bowl, and a riding clinic being conducted by young 21-year-old Jeremy McGrath. He's been given the sign that Jeff Stanton is now pursuing him. I don't think it's going to bother him much.
I don't think so either, because I would have to think that Stanton, if he were to catch up, and here's the distance between them. We're looking at a time clock here. Look at this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If by some reason Stanton should catch him, Stanton ain't going to make that pass. I can make you that as a promise. Honda won't allow that.
We got back to Kiedrowski as the 4th place man there. He is now left to race with Emig as Jeff Stanton has checked out from this battle, and he'll make some effort to try to run down the leader, but you're exactly right. McGrath's not going to let it happen. You can see the interval to Emig is growing a little bit. It's maybe 4 or 5 bike lengths. I'm surprised Kiedrowski hasn't been able to get through these guys.
Well, again, I think that Kiedrowski, is understanding that something is going to have to happen to McGrath. So given that, he's just sitting there, and he's not too concerned with making the pass early. There's no way he could catch him, Dave. And he's just got to hope that that's something, whatever it might have been. If it happens, he'll be in a position to pounce. And if it didn't happen, then, what difference does it make?
I guess the other point to make is that to some extent, he's protecting 2nd place in the championship were he to throw himself on the ground. And
yeah, he needs to stay upright no matter what. He has to stay upright.
And so will this develop into a heated battle? Well, here comes Kiedrowski to make a move. He's alongside Emig. Emig will have the better line, but Kiedrowski beats him to it.
See, he just picked his spot, and he made the pass there where there was plenty of room. Didn't get into any kind of trouble. That's the way he's been riding all night long since the opening laps when McGrath got away from him.
So Kiedrowski is now 3rd, and it really doesn't change the picture a great deal in terms of the championship. McGrath's got them all covered, and here he is out front and cruising. We'll be back with more. Pasadena, and Jeff Emig's bike has gotten away from him as he was trying to continue his charge. He hit pretty hard, appears a bit shaken, and is taking his time about getting back underway.
Jeff Emig, the team manager, Keith McCarty, is there, and I think he's pretty much saying the same thing to Emig that we're all thinking, hey, there's not a lot of reason for you to go back out there. If you're healthy, do it. Otherwise, call it a night.
Meanwhile, the front runners are in traffic with Emig out of the picture. This is second and third, and they're side by side.
Whoa! Larry Brooks just took a header. That was a break for Jeff Stanton because Kiedrowski had the momentum, and he was really charging on top of Stanton. And that crash just gave Stanton a little bit of breathing room.
Remember, Brooks is the guy who fell in front of Stanton at the Pontiac Silverdome. And Stanton landed on him, suffered an injury that cost him his chance to defend the championship, although arguably he was trailing pretty badly at that point. But it's coincidental that Brooks and Stanton nearly tangled again here tonight. He was able to hang on to the spot, but Kiedrowski smells blood, and he's closing up, trying to put the pressure on Jeff Stanton. They're racing for second spot, a long way behind Jeremy McGrath.
Now, once again, without McGrath, we would be watching a heck of a race here. As it is, it's still good stuff. But this young man, well, how impressive can you be? He's going to tie the single-season win record tonight in the process of winning the title. And here comes Kiedrowski. Now Kiedrowski letting it hang out. I'm surprised at that action. And another crash.
Right in front of him again. Koji Okawara is on the ground. Koji falls in front of this great battle for second spot. I would add that without Jeremy McGrath, this would have been a heck of a season. We had a great championship battle if he hadn't come along and stunk it all up by winning all the races.
Boy, he has. I wonder how many laps he's like. You know what? I'm going to go home and figure that out, and I'll give you all a report on the next race. Look at Kiedrowski continue to hang it out here as he tries to get around Stanton, and again, that surprises me, and he's going to make the pass. He did.
These guys who will battle later this season for the Outdoor National Championship are giving each other no quarter. Forget Jeremy McGrath. They've got something to prove to each other. We'll be right back. We are back for the coronation of Jeremy McGrath as the 1993 Camel Supercross Championship. The $100,000 check awaits, and the young king is saluting his court.
Didn't I tell you, we go back to Orlando, Florida, the season opener. Didn't I tell you that a rookie would win 9 races this year and Jeremy McGrath would win the title? Didn't I tell you that?
Try as hard as I might. I can't remember that conversation.
I meant to tell you that. I guess that's what I was thinking.
Nobody expected this. Everybody knew McGrath had potential. Nobody, and I mean nobody, and I include in that list Jeremy McGrath, thought that he could do what he has done here tonight. How about me? The nickname Showtime, it seems to fit right now.
Boy, is that helmet full of smiles or what? And here comes Kiedrowski to number 2 position.
His best Supercross season ever with a couple of victories. And the family celebration is on. There's Papa McGrath. There's Mom, the sister, his mechanic, Skip Norfolk's girlfriend. Everybody with a lot to celebrate. And speaking of Skip, he is certainly a big part of the championship story as Mike Kiedrowski looks on. Let's hear from Skip.
Can you believe it? Oh, God, this is great. Oh, man. He just never let up the whole season long. And things are going great right now. God, it's unbelievable. Oh, speechless. Oh, man.
We can certainly see the emotion, even if Skip doesn't have much to say. The salute from his fans. Appropriate, I think, that he came home to win it here in Southern California.
Boy, he is just so fired up. That helmet's just full of teeth and grins on the inside. The fans appreciate it. You know what? They're not leaving. That's great.
Everybody wants to stick around for the champagne party for this youngster from nearby Murrieta, California, who is the toast of Southern California here tonight. He wraps up the championship in record-tying style. McGrath, Kiedrowski, Stanton, Lamson, LaRocco, your top 5. Henry and Lusk finished 6th and 7th. Stevenson, Palmer, and Cooper rounded out. Here's Art with the runner-up.
Michael, your thoughts now as you look back at the season, as you look back at this race tonight?
Well, you know, you look back at the season, and I've had a great season. I won my first 2 Supercrosses this year, and, you know, I rode a lot of good races and had a couple breaks, and Jeremy never did. So, you know, he deserves it 100%, and, you know, he rode a hell of a season, and my season was great, too, so I can't complain about nothing.
Well, I'm sure already you're thinking about next year, too, and improving on things.
Yeah, I got a couple more championships I want to win, and then we'll look on to next year and go for the Supercross.
You know, Dave, McGrath has been unemotional, pretty much unemotional throughout the entire season, but I think it's finally catching up with him now. He can't do anything except smile. He's not been able to get that off his face. There's a kiss for Mom since the helmet came off, and well, it makes you feel kind of good to watch that.
Everybody in the clan gets a big hug. All the McGrath fans coming around. Two things about the point. McGrath has clinched. Bradshaw slips to fourth behind Stanton. Here's Bob Hanna with the winner.
Jeremy, you just won the 250 Supercross championship. How do you feel? Woo! I'm happier than hell, that's for sure. You said earlier in the year that you didn't want to be the kind of rider to sit around second, third, fourth, and win the championship. You wanted to win them in style, and you wanted to win a lot of them. You've done that. Well, Bob, you know, I try to win as many races as possible, and, you know, tonight was my night. I got a good start. I didn't get a good start in the heat race, and I made up for it in the main event. And I sure didn't want them guys catching me, that's for sure. Well, I'd like to be the, I'm about run out of questions, but I'd like to say I've never seen a smoother, more confident, or more deserving champion. Thanks a lot, Bob. Thanks.
And with that, let the payday begin. Roy Jansen of the AMA.
Well, Jeremy, you've changed the sport of Supercross. On behalf of the thousands of fans that you have around the country, that which you've worked so hard for, the #1 place. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Roy. You know, I'd just like to thank AMA and Camel just for giving me the chance to do this. You know, Honda's backed me all the way, and I just appreciate it, you know, a whole heck of a lot. And I hope I can do it again next year. You know, had a great season. I couldn't ask for anything more, but there's still 2 more races, and I want to win those too. So I just like to thank everyone out there who made this possible, and appreciate it.
Hail to the champ, Larry Myers. Your final thoughts?
Perhaps we have witnessed the most impressive championship drive ever in the sport of Supercross. The rookie never folded. The rookie kept on winning. Pressure never touched him. The guy is just an out-and-out champ all the way through. Very impressive.
But can he break the single-season win record? We'll find out next week. From Pasadena, I'm Dave Despain. For Bob Hanna, Larry Myers, and, of course, Art Ekman.